In this tutorial, we are going to make the bullet jump from Warframe, and you'll be able to zip around your levels and use the exact same thing as Warframe. Just in a blank project, and we're going to go into BP third person, and we're going to create a keyboard event. We'll replace this with a input action event once it's all working. So we've got a keyboard event, it's a variable to say bullet jumping. We're going to set that here. We're just going to check that we're not already bullet jumping. So we're going to get bullet jumping and check that it with a branch, and just make sure that once we compile, it's not set to true by default. We can either do a play montage here, but I'm going to make it inside the animation blueprint. So we're going to go to AVP Quinn, go into AVP Mani because that's the one where it all is. And at the top, we're going to change this cast to BP third person. We're going to connect that to character and move character out. And then where it says references, this character reference, we're just going to change to BP third person object reference and change it. Then we're going to add onto our sequence, and we're going to get our character, and just make sure that you save this. We're going to get bullet jumping. And then we're going to promote this to a variable inside the APP and connect this sequence up. And then inside our anim graph in main states, off of jump, we're going to get a new state. And then we're going to connect that back to for loop. And from locomotion, we're also going to connect that here. Now that's a bit of a choice that you need to make. I've made it so that if you're jumping, you can go into bullet jump. So call this bullet jump. But also if you stood still, you can go into bullet jump as well. So we'll get this, get bullet jump. That enters that. And then we'll get this and change this transition here to go into bullet jump as well. And then here, bullet jump to for loop when bullet jumping is not true. And compile that. So now we're going to grab some animations. So we're going to go to Fab. I want these Infinity Rogue animations, which used to be free, but now are about 20 quid. Animations, root motion. I'm going to want this corkscrew drill dash animation. There we go. And I want to retarget that to Quinn. I want the drill. I want the root motion one. Export that. Export. And then a couple of bits on this. I want the force root lock, and I don't want that bit. And then it does this weird thing around here where it starts to rotate right and then goes left and then goes right again. So I don't want that either. So from about here, about number 15, then I want to remove that many frames. So 0 to 9 and 18 will do. So we're flying through the air, flying through the air, flying through the air. And then the animation jumps back here, which is not what we want. So I want to stop it about here from number 18. So I want to remove frame 30. And then again, just about here, remove frame 23 to 30. And then one last one, remove frame 20 to 23. So now it's just as bullet jumping through the air, which is perfect. We're going to go back to ABP money, go to this bullet jump and find our drill animation and connect that. So now if we play and I press 2, do this drill animation. Now currently it doesn't go back to anything, we're just supermaning across the floor. So let's change that. Create a new event. So custom event. Call this reset bullet jump. And in here we're going to get bullet jump in and set it to none. But I also want to get the event on landed. So when we land on the floor, then we reset bullet jump. This on landed event is a default event. So I can do jump, bullet jump, reset. But if you notice, because I didn't jump there, it didn't reset. So I need to solve that issue. And I like to do this using an actual blueprint. So come to blueprints, get a anim notify, quanim, anim notify, press select, anim notify, reset, and then we can do on receive notify, get owner, and we can call a new interface. So if we go to blueprint interface, we can call BPI player interface reset bullet jump, and then on AN reset I can call reset bullet jump, and in third person go to class settings, we can add the interfaces. So we want the player interface, and here we have reset bullet jump. So I can get rid of that event that we created. We can have this interface just here. So now inside the drill, I can just call this reset. So notify, anim notify reset, and here it will reset the bullet jump. Probably want it closer to the end actually. Just here. So now when we do a bullet jump on the ground, it will reset as here, and the same just there. So when we jump, it will reset as when we hit the ground as well. We're not actually moving when we're doing our bullet jump, and we want to be moving forward so that we've got some speed. Okay, so we're going to go to BP third person, and we're going to add a timeline. And from update, we're going to set actor location and open up timeline. I'm going to make it 0.5 seconds and add a float track. We're going to go to from 0 to 0.5. And then if we select both of these, right click, make them user, it flattens the curve. And so this is just how fast we're going to go from one to the other. So in 0.5 seconds, we're going to complete it. And then from new track, we're going to lerp, which is linear interpolate. And actually we want a lerp vector. Lerp vector. And then we're going to connect this return value just here. And we are going to want, so we're going to right click, get actor location. That's going to go into A. So we're going to move from the current location. And then we're going to get actor rotation. And we're going to get forward vector. And we're going to get a multiply node to see how far we're going to go. And then we're going to add that. So control, move the pin to move it to the bottom one. We're going to add that to our location. And if we right click this and convert to a float, we can put in, say, 50. And now when I do that, you can see that we are moving. I just want to make this play from start so it always does this no matter what. And that is our bullet jump kind of done, but there's a couple more bits we need to do because right now it's only going flat along the ground. And we kind of want it to go up as well if we jump. But it does turn alongside our character smoothly, so you can use it to get around corners, which is nice. Get velocity and get the vector length, and I'm going to divide that by 10, and this will affect the speed. So our standard speed is 500, which will give us 50, which is what we've got now. But if we're sprinting, then we'll go faster and we can bullet jump faster. And if you've got a character that's super quick, then you'll be able to move faster when you're bullet jumping as well. So that adds something to it. We also need to stop this happening, where we can potentially go for a wall. So we want to turn on sweep to stop ourselves going for a wall. If we read sweep, it says it sweeps the destination location, triggering overlaps, and stops short if blocked by something. So we want that to happen. At the start, we're just going to get character movement and change the gravity scale. I'm going to change that to 1. And then we're just going to copy that node. So select it, Control C, paste it down where we're resetting, and reset that to 1.75, which is the standard. This has gone back to play. Should be play from start. Now we feel a bit floatier, which is excellent. We're going to get our follow camera. We're going to get its world rotation. Get world rotation. And we're going to promote it to a variable. And then we're going to break it and split it. So all of that was right click to break it, right click to split it. Always remember to put it back to play from start or it'll keep breaking. And we're going to connect the Y and the Z, and the pitch we're going to have clamped. And I'm going to clamp it from -5 to 25. And then we're going to get new variable. And we're going to get forward vector and put it in there.
Why don't you work on doing the best?
And then when I press 2, I can fly up. If we go back to third person and get is falling, and then we can do a select from here and plug is falling into it. And if all in is true, then we're going to get the actor rotation. If falling is true, we're going to get the camera rotation forward vector. And if it's false, we're going to get the actor rotation forward vector. So now when I press 2, I should just be able to turn corners. There we go. When I press 2 in the air and jump, then I get the upwards movement as well. Go to content and go back to fab. and we can get a cool trail. So this pixie dust trail is free, I believe. I'm going to add that to our project. And then BP third person, just here, I'm going to spawn it. Spawn system attached. I'm going to add the pixie dust, and I'm going to attach it to the mesh, specifically hand_R. And then the location, I'm just going to make about 50 off the side, and I want to snap it to target. And I'll show you why I'm putting it on the side in a sec. So, commit this to a variable. And then on the bottom, we're going to get our new variable, which is really badly named. We'll call this bullet jump visual effect. We'll get it, right click it to convert it, just in case it doesn't spawn. And we'll destroy it. Destroy component. So now when we do, there we go, get this cool effect. And I want it off the side so that it is offside. If I don't put it off the side on the Y and do it on 0, it looks like I'm farting. So now we're going to go back to the ABP and we're going to look at some edge cases. So right now, if we are jumping and bullet jump, then we start bullet jumping, and as soon as we stop bullet jumping, we go back to fall, but we don't go back to this if we're falling and bullet jumping, and we don't restrict it anywhere either. So we're gonna put a bullet jump here. So now if we're in the air, we can bullet jump as well. And then back in the ABP as well, we also don't have a way of just going straight back to idle either. So if we start idle, then if we go from idle, we have to go into the for loop to come back here. So we don't want that as well. So we want to do bullet jumping is not, and is falling is not. So we get an ant here. Connect those together. And then just for safety, I want to make it if we are bullet jumping and is falling is not, to be able to go from the ground to bullet jumping. Compile and save that. So in our ABP, we can now go from jump to bullet jump, so we can bullet jump in the air after a jump. After that, it goes into the for loop, and if we are in the for loop and trigger bullet jump, it goes back. If we're on the ground and we're not falling, and bullet jump is a yes, then it goes to this bullet jump, and it goes back to running if we're not doing a bullet jump and not falling. So that should cover a lot of the edge cases that we've got. In third person, when we're finished this movement, I just want to reset the bullet jump, and that'll be fine. And then I want to get the follow camera and set the field of view, and we want to get alert here and move this to the alpha, so control, put it in the alpha, and then the standard is 90, and you can either zoom out at 110 or you can zoom in, completely up to you. And then at the end here, we'll just move this to the side, we'll get the follow camera, we'll set field of view, And we'll set that back to 90, which is our normal. So now it's zoomed out a little bit when we're doing our bullet jump. It looks like this when we zoom it in. I'm also going to put this back to 50, so that it's off the side. So if we zoom it in, say 60, then you get that effect. Which probably gives you a bit of motion blur, to be honest. So completely up to you how you want to do it. Now the last bit to do is we're going to make a input. So we're going to come to third person, make an input, go to actions, and Control D, IA jump. So do IA, bullet jump, and we don't want these pressed and release triggers. We're going to just turn those off. And yeah, that's it. And then if we come out of input and go to IMC, we can add in our bullet jump IMC, and we can have this on tab and save. And then over here, where 2 is, we got IA, bullet jump, and plug started into here. And then in third person, if I just press tab, because I'm not moving forward, I didn't get any distance there, but when I start moving forward, we got some distance.